Okay, we are live, and welcome to those of you joining us for the Perfectly Clear Affiliates webinar. We are about officially 2 minutes from start. My name is Rich Harrington. So in a moment, we'll be walking you through a bunch of different content and sharing things with you. And I'll also introduce some of the other folks from the team who are here and standing by later to answer any questions as you guys get ready to launch the product and help us help you. So we're ready to make sure that you guys are properly assisted. So my name is Rich Harrington, and I have served on the product team, helping work with version 3 of the plugin, as well as in producing a lot of the training and some of the marketing resources that you'll be able to use. And in just a moment here, I'll introduce you to the rest of the team. We are going to be covering several things today with Perfectly Clear version 3, so I appreciate those of you who were able to tune in live and join us. So thank you for that. I do see it looks like the bulk of the folks who RSVP to be here live are here live. So we will go ahead and get started. And for those of you who are joining us for the replay view, if you do have any questions, you can either post questions here on the webinar replay and we'll get those, or you'll be able to directly reach out to folks. So I'm just going to take a moment to introduce our team here. Let me just bring everybody live. So Tracy, can you say hello to folks and let them know your role and how you can be of help to them as we go forward with the version 3 launch?
Well, glad to. Hello to folks. I am at your service as an affiliate manager, and you can email me directly at tracy@athentech.com with any questions, and we will handle everything directly. I'm here to help you make money and get on with the program and help us help you.
And that's Tracy without an E, right? Tracy?
Yes, the right way.
That's true, the right way. So, and also joining us is Jasmine and Ramona. You guys are sort of, let me bring you live here so we can see both of you. There's Ramona and there's Jasmine. And they're both in the Athentech home office up in Canada, and they'll be able to help you with things. Do you guys want to say a quick hello?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So they're standing by to make sure to help you guys out. So thank you. And both Jasmine and Tracy and Ramona will all be in the chat pod. You guys can go ahead and mute your cameras and microphones if you'd like now. And feel free then to just ask questions in the chat pod as we go through the demonstration. So welcome to everyone. Glad you can be here. We've got a lot of great things to cover. We're going to make sure, I just want you to know what the agenda is for the day. We'll go over the product release date, then we'll talk about an opportunity where you can make extra presets that are included with Perfectly Clear Complete. And you can have those presets available for download on your website, or if you'd like to consider creating more custom presets that are for sale, we actually will be having a preset store with version 3 as well. And I'll show you how that works. Then we'll talk about the top 15 new features to make sure you're familiar, and we'll go through some things that are brand new as well as just some of the things that have been really solid with the product that you might have missed. And we'll talk about availability and make sure you also know how to access Impact Radius so you can see your ads and tracking codes and things like that. And we'll talk about any open questions that you have. While I'm presenting, it will be difficult for me to see the chat pod, so I'll try to check in from time to time on that, but do feel free to ask questions, and Jasmine, Ramona, and Tracy will do the best to answer those questions for you, and we'll certainly follow up. And again, if you're watching the replay, just feel free to reach out with us for any questions. So let's start at the top, the product and the pricing. So I'm going to share my screen here and just flip over, and I just want to show you that I'm going to go here, and we're going to visit athentech.com. Here we go. And when you do, you will see a specific page that is all about the new Perfectly Clear Complete. So on this page are a ton of resources. You'll be able to learn more and see a lot of different types of images that are beneficial. If you need artwork, Tracy or Ramona will be able to make some of that available to you for your blog post if you need. You might see that right now we are running a special, a pre-launch special, and this does qualify under your affiliate program, so you will find links. This is a fantastic deal. Right now, until the product launches, we're selling version 3 plus 2 bonus preset packs, one for presets and one for looks, a new technology we'll talk about in a moment, and a hands-on video training course. So the training course is all set and ready to go, as are the looks and these first presets, so you'll be able to check that out. You'll see that that deal is going to end in about 4 days when the product launches. So if you are watching this webinar now, you can start earning money today by promoting this deal through your affiliate link. And we've got new testimonials up here, as well as a great overview of how do we enhance Photoshop and Lightroom, what are some of the other tools and features we offer, and a detailed look at what's new in version 3. So you can click on any of those links to get material for your blog post or your website. We also have a lot of different before and after examples. And again, if you need access to this type of content, we do make this available to give you some different ideas on how Perfectly Clear can be used to enhance pictures. And we tell you what sort of adjustments have been made. Right now, we are currently supporting Photoshop, Lightroom, Photoshop Elements, and PaintShop Pro, although very shortly after launch, we will have some exciting information about some additional platforms. So make sure you keep an eye on the emails from us. We're just doing a little bit of final testing and we'll let you know, but this means that more customers using more tools will be able to take advantage of Perfectly Clear Complete. So feel free to take a look at that. We do have a new user webinar, and that'll help people. And if any of you are interested in being guests on future webinars, you can reach out to me. We do have some other content here that you can check out with video tutorials and a complete user guide, and some specific reasons about the benefits of Perfectly Clear Complete. The product is estimated to have a street price of $129, but we will be having different specials tied to launch, and you'll get more details about that, as well as from time to time there will be different sales, and you can find out about that. The pre-launch special includes additional items in the bundle, and that's why it is being offered. It is nearly $140 savings, so this is a great opportunity if you want to get people excited about the product as well as fully trained on how to use it. All right, let me launch Perfectly Clear. I'm going to switch on over to Photoshop real quick, and I just want to check the chat pod really quickly. If you guys can let me know if you are successfully seeing Photoshop, that would be great. Just a confirmation that you see Adobe Camera Raw and a picture open, just so I know that you are actually seeing my screen would be helpful. And here we go. I'm just going to open up an image. Good. You guys can see it. Excellent. So we are going to talk about a series of different photos. And here we go. Perfectly Clear is a great solution for all types of photographers. Now, many folks see us in certain ways, for example, some of our great portrait tools and skin tools, but I want to start with a landscape example. This is a photo of mine that I took in Joshua Tree, and we were just traveling through, and I would have loved to have stayed for a perfect amount of time and be able to get exactly everything I wanted. But I had the family in the car, so the lighting was not ideal. But my kids and my wife weren't interested in hanging out in the desert for an extra 4 hours for the perfect lighting conditions. So here we go. I'm going to choose Athentech Imaging Perfectly Clear Complete version 3. Now, one of the things you're going to likely notice with Perfectly Clear Complete version 3 is a dramatic redesign to the user interface. Now, I know that many folks don't like dramatic redesigns to the user interface, but we're hoping that you find this professional as well as customizable. For example, if I press the Tab key, I can hide all of the preset panel and the adjustments panel, making it easy to just work with presets. And you'll find a super simple way now to choose your presets, including having your own customized toolbar. We'll talk more about preset management in a moment, but you can actually make your own toolbar, putting your favorite system presets in there or your own, and now this is available. So instead of having to flip between different things, you can have everything in one place. and everything is quickly accessible so you can get the setting you want. So there's my warm desert preset that I made. And you might be noticing that now Perfectly Clear also offers tools to stylize your image. And we'll talk more about those in just a moment. So this view is pretty straightforward. We've got the ability here, and I'm going to open up the panel on the left, and you'll see two great tools. A navigator, which allows you to zoom and move around the photo to see what parts of it that you want as you're working. You can just click right there to fit it back. And an incredible presets panel. This is going to allow you to use the system presets, make your own folders, and more. Now, let's talk about those presets for a moment. If you are a blogger and you want to create some presets for sharing, you can make your own folder. Just add a group. And then select that group, just make sure it's highlighted, and you can then say export presets. And this will allow you to export all of those presets out to a single file. And that file can be posted on your website and shared with your users. So if you have your own favorite style of photography or want to make your own Perfectly Clear presets, you can do that now and easily share. If you work with multiple computers, you can export your presets and import them on another system. And every preset file is independent. So you could even just select a single preset and export it. By the way, another thing I think you're going to like here is that as we choose presets, we've added a very cool option. For example, you'll see the strength slider here. This allows you to decrease the intensity of a preset so that it's less intense, or increase it so it's stronger. So presets now have a great, essentially, more or less slider. Rather than having to go in and tweak every single setting one at a time, if you use that strength slider, I'll open up the controls here, what you'll see is that all the sliders exponentially grow, meaning that they increase or decrease by the same percentage. So a slider that is applied more increases at a faster rate than one that's a little bit more minimally applied. So this is going to give you a lot of control over how that works. So hopefully that makes sense to you all, and this is going to be easy to use. So the opportunity here for presets is that right now you can create your own presets inside of Perfectly Clear Complete and offer those up to any of your readers or customers or as an add-on for what you're doing. If you want to submit presets for sale, you can work through me, and we have some requirements of the minimum number in the presets and some before and after images that we'll need, but you'll be able to put presets up online. So when the customer clicks buy more, they're going to be redirected to a website. Right now we have one sample pack up, but when we launch, we'll be launching with several packs, and there will be a overview page here where people can browse. Here, they're able to see the different presets. For example, here's a collection of 35 different black and white photography looks. And the user, with one click, will be able to create different types of black and white photography very quickly and easily right within Perfectly Clear. So they could take advantage of our excellent tools for toning and detail and exposure, but still also explore their love of black and white photography if that's what's of interest to them. And these preset packs are then available for sale, and we will be profit sharing with you on the sale of that. You'll be able, if you create a for sale preset pack, to receive approximately 25% of the purchase price. So this is an additional opportunity. If you are looking to make those presets available for free for people that buy through you, you will also be able to create your own preset packs that you could attach to your affiliate program, so that people who buy Perfectly Clear get your bonus presets or bonus looks. So this is a great opportunity to really enhance your images and give Perfectly Clear your own custom feel. So they'll have that ability, whether you want to make those available for free download on your website, or if you want to make those something that people purchase or get through our store. So you can get in touch with me more after the event to learn about this. I'm going to hide the preset panel for a moment and open up the adjustments panel. And I want to walk you through some of the things that are new here. First up, let's start with just a basic preset. I'll go to Perfectly Clear Essentials, and I'm going to load in our Intelligent Auto, what was previously called our Details preset. And you can see the before and after fix on the exposure. If we start at the top here, you'll see that we have a couple of easy controls. For example, now all the control groups can be quickly collapsed. This makes it super easy to just get to the controls that you want. You can also turn groups off all at once, so you can quickly turn a group on or off. You might have also noticed we've added a histogram so you can look for clipped pixels. For example, I see that I have some dark blacks here in the shadows, to be expected, and a certain amount of dead pixels or cold pixels here are to be expected. But as I adjust, I can judge what's happening. So that's really kind of cool, and I think you're going to like that. Let me hit cancel here for a second, and I'm going to switch to a different type of image. And what I'd like to show you is the image here that is going to need a little bit of additional work. So let's start with some tone adjustments here. We'll open up a couple. And I'm going to show you some different options for working with tone. So here we have a couple of images right out of Camera Raw. By the way, a great workflow is to open those as smart objects. Now, when you're in Photoshop, it's applied non-destructively, meaning you can redevelop the raw file at any time. By the way, if you are a Lightroom user, you've got that same feature in Lightroom. You can select a raw file and say photo, and you can actually open that as a smart object over in Photoshop, and then it will apply perfectly clear non-destructively, which is pretty cool. All right, let's go here with a face, and I'll show you a really cool new feature that's part of perfect exposure. So one of the things Perfectly Clear has always been great at is face detection. It doesn't recognize who's who, but it does recognize that there are faces. You see here that it found a face, and now you even have the ability to adjust the points or click to zoom and see the different faces that Perfectly Clear found. So for the first time ever, we've exposed this from under the hood, and one of the things that has been a criticism in the past is, I love Perfectly Clear, but what about those rare occasions when it can't find a face? Maybe somebody's face is partially closed, they have an eye covered up, or their head is turned. Well, now you can manually add a face and click on the eyes and tell us where a face is, and then you'll be able to take advantage of these things yourself, which is really quite cool. So let's start here with tone. One of the things we've always had is intelligent exposure adjustment, low, medium, and high. But we've added a new option called face aware. So if we are not looking at the face, it analyzes all the pixels in the scene. But when I turn on the face aware option, it's a lot like center weighted aperture in a camera when you're pointing it at your subject. It recognizes the faces in the scene and favors those and will actually show us an exposure value automatically that's based on what's in the scene, favoring the faces. So this is a huge option that's going to improve automatically when adjusting exposure for people with pictures. So I think you're really going to love that option there, the face aware option under perfect exposure, which is brand new. Excuse me. Another thing that we have here is depth. Excuse me. Depth has been around in our previous versions, but this is so much better than what others call clarity. We offer two distinct options so you can refine the blacks and the richness within. And to that end, you might have noticed a black point adjustment. This is another brand new adjustment. So if you look at my histogram, you can see how we give you total control over the black point. So if you don't like how Perfectly Clear is automatically adjusting the shadows in your image, you can control how deep and rich the blacks go with this new adjustment. This is an important addition, and it puts you under complete control of designing your own presets. Remember, you can do all this manually, but the real power comes when you actually click to save a preset. By the way, you'll notice when you create a preset now, you can choose what set it's going to go into, make your own sets. You can assign from a collection of custom icons to make it easy, and even write in a detailed description as to when that preset should be used. So if you want an outdoor portrait preset, you can make one, kind of like I'm doing here, and then assign a custom icon that makes sense to you. And this is really going to give you or your users more control. We've also taken one of our most popular features here, which is light diffusion, and we've added a control to it. In the past, we only applied about this much, and that was great. It really helped soften the light in the scene. But now we've given you much more control, and you can go in and completely change the lighting in your scene. This allows you to take the harsh light, which was creating unwanted shadows on the face, and gently diffuse it. This is literally adding light diffusion during post-production. Now, I'm a huge fan of getting this right in the camera when possible, but I really think that this is something that you're going to love for folks because it gives you total control over lighting and tone. All right, I think that's super exciting. I'll click apply and you'll see that we are a very fast filter to apply. Let's go ahead and take a look at a different style of photography here. This time we're going to go back to a landscape example, and I'll relaunch Perfectly Clear Complete. Now, in this case, let's take a look at what's possible. I'm going to go with some exposure adjustments here, perfect exposure, and go with a simple outdoor exposure. And I like what that's doing, but I notice that we've got a little bit of clipping here. That red line is indicating that the whites are a little bit bright. So I can simply use the strength slider and back that off if I'd like until it goes away. Or I can use our new pre-processing adjustments and take advantage of things like image ambulance, which lets me lower or manually adjust the exposure. And in this case, it's doing a combination of a gamma and a special image rescue that's going to really help improve contrast and saturation. So it allows you a little bit of extra control, and you can make small refinements there if you've got areas that are blown out. So in this case, the whites were blown out in the original, and I was able to bring a lot of that back and remove some of those problems. You'll also find that you can then continue to adjust our own perfect exposure algorithm to refine things, which is great. So that pre-processing image ambulance, and I'll show you another example later, is going to be super useful. You'll also find under pre-processing that we now offer corrective filters based upon traditional photography filters. So you can add color compensation filters for things like if you're shooting underwater or under extreme lighting conditions, or corrective filters to warm up a shot. And you see here that I could apply a traditional warming filter or a cooling filter, which can change substantially the feeling of the shot or even the apparent time of day. Now, you do have a strength slider on this, but look, we've gone from afternoon sun to early evening. And so by being able to adjust that, you can make just a slight change, in this case, to cool down some of the reds that I didn't want in the picture. These are in a pop-up list and can be included in your presets, and you will find traditional filters here available for color and correction, and these are similar to what would be used with traditional glass filters that would be attached to the front of the camera lens. All right, I'll turn that off for now, and let's go on to color for a moment. In color, we have some important new additions I think you're going to like. Our adjustment previously called color vibrancy has been renamed to color restore, which is a better description of what it does. This allows you, particularly as you start to adjust exposure, to really put color back into the blacks. So now, using color vibrancy, I can enrich in some of the shadow areas and get much more color and depth in the areas that are starting to wash out. We've also added a traditional vibrancy adjustment. So for those of you that are used to a vibrancy control that you might find in Photos or Aperture or Photoshop or Lightroom, we've added a similar adjustment here that allows you manual control over vibrancy to bring up the overall colors. And that is a personal choice that some folks love this adjustment, others do not, but we've now added it into Perfectly Clear. Remember, you'll also find our fidelity adjustment, which is very useful for making greens and purples look natural. This is a great adjustment for preserving and preventing colors from shifting to overly saturated greens or other problems. And we've added two new special adjustments that landscape folks are going to love. A sky enhance filter that allows you to bring in different skies. You'll see here, for example, we could enhance a night sky, or we can do a sunset color. And these are just designed to bring out the existing color. So in this case, I could bring out the blue sky. And you see that the blues in the sky and the reflected water get bluer. So it's a very targeted adjustment. We've also added a foliage adjustment for browns and greens. This will allow you to target an area that you want to enhance to put more or less in. So more browns or more greens, allowing you just to put a little extra pop in a particular area. And we've added these particularly for people who like to use perfectly clear in a landscape situation. Of course, our details corrections are fantastic. Remember, Perfectly Clear is incredibly unique in that it offers multiple types of noise reduction depending upon what you're doing, and you'll find complete control. And we've got a great sharpening algorithm that really brings out some of the details in the image. So this is going to help you get more detail brought back to life that was getting lost in the picture. All right, I'm going to click Apply. And I want to show you an image ambulance example, and then we'll move on to some of our portrait and other features. But hopefully you've got a good idea of how things are looking. So here's an example of image ambulance type image, and this is a photo of mine, and it was just extremely low lighting conditions in this museum. Now, I can take advantage of perfect exposure and our fixed dark preset, which has been around for a long time, and this works great. Remember, our fixed dark preset is designed so you can very quickly fix an image. By the way, when you mouse over, you get a very detailed description of each preset. You also may like that now you can use your keyboard shortcuts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The keys 1 through 0 will automatically map to the first 10 presets you have loaded. So if you like just a giant image area and you just want to quickly use presets to find what you want and then dial it in with the strength slider, you can do that. And remember, in Lightroom, you can even open up multiple images and click through them very easily. So this is great workflow here for those who just want a maximum image. But if you decide that as you're working with this, that we're not exactly where you want, well, we give you manual pre-processing control. So I can say, you know what? Let's remove and cool this down a little bit. Just a low value, and I'll combine that with our tint correction here. And what that's going to do is remove. Now it says there is no tint, so that's fine. But I can manually say, you know what? There might not be tint, but I want to get rid of some of that. Let's cool this shot down a little bit. That looks great. Now that cast that was there, that was accurate, I've overridden and got rid of. I've really brought out the blues in the background, and I like that. Plus, using the manual slider here, if I feel like perfect exposure wants to go a little more, I can use the image ambulance to bring that up. And remember, this combines great with our color restore feature, so you can get really rich shadows and take advantage of depth as well. And now, look at that before and after. I'll just go with a split screen here, or sorry, side-by-side view. And you can see that we've really brought out the details and neutralized and fixed a ton of issues. Noise, color cast, artistic color decisions, exposure, depth, clarity, sharpening. Or we can go with the split screen here. And remember, this is a great way to see what's happening. If you click this little bubble, by the way, it'll just close so that you don't have to keep dragging it all the way back over. Click it again, and it will go the other way. So this allows you to sort of see a before and after, which is very cool. I like being able just to do this compare, particularly if I'm working with a client so they can see what's happening. When I click apply, that adjustment is applied to the image, and we're all set. All right, I'm going to quickly check to see if there's any questions in the chat pod, and let's see what I can respond to. So does this work with Capture One? I'm not allowed to tell you yet, but pay attention in the near future and we will have an announcement. So we'll go from there. And are all the custom presets available? Absolutely. So we will have additional presets available for download, and you can make your own presets available to your users, and we will have packs of presets. From time to time, we will give some presets away for free as rewards for reading the newsletter and things like that. So we might include a holiday preset or things like that, but that works very well. Let me show you though, for example, we have a pack of black and white presets available. So let's do a landscape example here. And here's a finished image that is one of my favorites that I like, and I'll go with Intelligent Auto, and I see that it really still helped finish that image a little more. But if I want to go to a great black and white look, I can do that. I've installed the optional black and white pack that we've built, and you'll see that we have black and white conversion, black and white film stocks. And so there are different options here, and all of them use different lookup tables and recipes to remap the color. And it's not just like other tools or Lightroom presets that are one click and done. If you apply something and you say, I like that, but, because it's always a but, I wish it was a little less. Drag the strength slider to the left, and it's a little less. I like that, but I wish it was a little more. Well, no problem. You can double or half or completely remove the preset, giving you total control. So you see here that we even have black and white film stocks. Like here's one that simulates the look of Agfa film. So there it is. And then after the fact, I can still take advantage of the pre-processing adjustment and use image ambulance to slightly refine the gamma, or use my tone adjustments and things like definition, high contrast versus high def, and some of the skin and depth bias here to get a really compelling black and white photo. I know that people haven't thought of perfectly clear for black and white photography, but it's an area of my own personal passion. And if you're into black and white photography, I really think we've done an amazing job of giving you total control over great black and white conversions and really other cool things like getting maximum depth, contrast, sharpness, and exposure. Again, with a complete control over the histogram, so you can judge things like if you're clipping your blacks or your highlights, what do you want to do? So I think you're really going to like looks. We do ship with 4 look packs included, and I've installed 2 of our extra packs here that are available for sale. One of these is a pack that is the black and white film looks, but there's also another pack here from the website Photo Focus, who's one of the affiliates, and they're making this preset pack available to their customers who purchase through their website. So when customers purchase through their website, they've added different style packs here. So here they have a collection of things like high contrast look, or the ability to get a moody sort of rich color. And there it is, sort of dark and dingy and moody. They've added some here for winter to give it different color feels. And so these are things that we can walk you through how to make them. They are lookup tables, and you can design these using tools like DaVinci Resolve, Photoshop, Lattice, Premiere Pro. But a lot of color and style adjustments can be encapsulated into a look, and then you can work with us to put these there. So, for example, different color casts become quickly available, and the user can apply these at a low value just to give the image a slightly different finished feel. And you'll find all sorts of color grades available, including things that are based on season or lighting conditions, like the ability to change the lighting for something so it takes on the color temperature and mood of candlelight. So these are great controls that you'll be able to add as finishing touches, but totally optional at the end of Perfectly Clear. I really think, though, that a lot of users are going to have recipes or looks that they like, and this is going to make it easy for people to come up with a finished look, particularly if they have to batch process for client review, or if they're just trying to have an all-in-one solution and not have to keep stepping in between different packages and programs from multiple manufacturers. All right, let me hit apply, and you'll see that that quickly updates. All right, I promised you that we were going to switch to some portrait things, and I want to do that now. We have some very exciting adjustments that we have added for portraits. And I think you're going to like these. So let me just open up a couple of different images and I'll show you all the things that exist for portraits. Some of these you might have missed because when we launched Perfectly Clear version 2, it had a lot of great features in it. But then a little later on, about a year later, we launched Perfect Skin and Perfect Eyes. And what a lot of folks missed is that Perfect Skin actually had some adjustments that were not inside of Perfectly Clear. Well, that was because we were testing those features out and we wanted to see if people were going to be able to use them and if they liked them. And we took all of that feedback and rolled that in to Perfectly Clear Complete version 3. So now you have tons of controls and powerful tools that you can use for portrait photography. So let me just finish opening up some images here and I'll show you what those are. This is super exciting. So let's start here with something pretty simple. And I'm going to open up Perfectly Clear Complete. And I want to just show you what we have for portraits and skin. First up, I want you to remember that we do have a collection of presets. So I will go to Perfect Skin, and there's Intelligent Auto. You'll notice a wide range of presets for everything from supermodel skin. This is a preset designed by one of our ambassadors, Matthew Jordan Smith, who's been a photographer and judge for America's Next Top Model. And that's the way that he likes to do skin. To high fashion, which gives a nice glisten and sharpen to the eyes. To just simple, clear skin to remove blemishes with doing minimal changes to the image. So this is up to you what you choose. You'll notice here under skin a couple of great things. First up, you can now decide, are you only smoothing the face or the whole body? We've added a great ability for you to target not just the face, but the full body for more control when smoothing skin. And you'll find 3 different options from subtle to our standard method to super smooth for older skin or people who like a more porcelain look. You now have 3 different strengths to choose from. Of course, our infrared removal is fantastic. This is not a new feature, but it removes any reddish cast or excessiveness to the skin. But this gets combined with fantastic controls for makeup. Now you have the ability to tone the skin. So you can decide if you're going to do the face or just the full body. You'll find a series of presets here, such as white, pale, warm, tan, and standard foundation. But you also have your own hue, saturation, and brightness slider, allowing you to dial in the exact color for the foundation makeup that you like, and then you can go ahead and tone the skin, allowing you to change the foundation. So here I've applied a very light makeup, and that's making it very easy to lighten her skin to the desired skin tone that the subject may want. You'll also find that we have the ability to add blush to the cheeks, and you can set the strength of that blush as well as choose from popular presets based on some of the best-selling makeup on the market. We worked with makeup artists here to help define these. And of course, you can mix your own color. So if your subject wants green blush, she or he can have it. It's up to you or them. So this gives you some great control. And remember, when you combine this with some of our looks, you can take advantage of things like lighting conditions. For example, let's go down here to some light, and I can say I'd like faded afternoon light and just dim that down, but give it a slight change to the lighting condition in the photo. Or if you want it to be more dramatic, increase it. But this gives you complete finishing control here to change things like the lighting conditions within your image so that you can get a completely new look. And in this case, I'm applying it to the high quality photo non-destructively. And you'll see there that it's very easy, or I can double click to reopen it. All right, let's take a look at some of our other things that we have here. Let's deal with a skin example here. We have a lot of skin. The photo does cut off at the right places, so we're not going to be panning down. And here we go, but you can use this. The full body will work on full body. So if you shoot people and you have a lot of skin in your photos, you'll be able to take advantage of that. It does use the ability to find it. Let's go ahead and turn off the look for a second. and deal with some of our skin controls. So we can adjust how smooth does the skin get. I can use a stronger method such as super smooth, and I can remove blemishes and infrared. We also have shine removal, which helps with any hot spots. Now I'm going to get rid of super smooth and just go with subtle. Let's put that side by side, and we'll zoom in a little bit here. And let's take a look at how subtle works. Now you are watching a webcast, so I would encourage you to look at this on your own computer. Judging fine details on a streaming YouTube video is a little hard, but you'll see here that our subtle option at a lower value does a great job of just smoothing out some of the gentle imperfections without being too aggressive. All the fine little hairs here on her side of her face, the details in her eyelashes are all preserved. So even though we've smoothed the skin, we've lost no detail here in the eyelashes, the eyebrows, or anything else. So this works really well. Additionally, you might have missed a couple of cool things here. So let's turn on face for a second. And I want you to realize that we actually have lip sharpening now. So this allows you to put a little bit of detail into the lips if you'd like to put a little pop there to help them come through. Or, of course, the ability to teeth whiten. So you can adjust the whiteness levels of the teeth and actually refine that as you see fit. So this is really kind of cool how you can go in and brighten the teeth or put a little bit in there. And here we are with our foundation color. Let's go with just a regular foundation and actually just give her a warmer glow. I like that. And I'm going to combine that here. And remember, use our tone adjustment here for some light diffusion and play with the skin and depth bias a little bit. And we've got a great looking image. Now, remember, you can combine this with a face-aware exposure option for a gentle lift and just really bring that out to get a nice, even exposure. So this is complete control. And if you want something to be different, remember, just make your own presets. So if you decide that you just want a healthy glow, there's a healthy glow. Soften the pores, there you go. These recipes are incredibly flexible. You need somebody with a lot of work, there's the works. Face slimming, blush, a lot of bronzing, it's all there. But as you work, remember, you can go in and say, you know what? I don't want the face contouring. And I like the skin toning, make that a little stronger. And looking at this here, let's tone down the shine removal a little bit and a little bit less on the blush. And I want to change that color to that. That feels better with her skin tone. Well, click the preset button, choose my set. In this case, I'll put it in my own folder, and I'm going to call this full body warmer. Click OK, and I've got that preset stored. If I also have loaded in a finishing touch with a look table, maybe I want to go here with my stylized color and do caramel, and I'm going to take that at a lower value there, but I want just a little bit of extra warmth to the image. There it is. I like that. It's taken on the filmic look of a different gamma curve that matches film. Or perhaps I want to pick from our film pack here. We do ship with regular color films as well. You'll find that you can actually do this here. So if I'll just go in here to color film stocks and say, give this the look of light film, but let's bump that up a little bit there, right about there. I like that. It's just a slightly different curve to the gamma. We'll toggle that on and off. And you see it made the blacks a little richer and really brought out some of the color in the midtones. Well, click the Add New Preset button, and we'll call this Warm Film. And if I want to choose an icon, I can do that. There we go. And it is added to my preset collection. So now I've got the ability to very quickly just switch between different presets, giving me that exact control and look that I want. So I think you guys are going to find that really exciting. We've really upped the game here on what you can do, giving you complete control over things like makeup, blush, giving you more control over what you smooth, the full body versus just the face, and giving you 3 different methods for how you smooth the skin. And remember, you'll find the ability to whiten teeth and sharpen lips for extra pop. And of course, the great control we have with eyes. Now, speaking of eyes, let me just show you our perfect eyes technology, and then I'll make sure we answer any questions that you have. With perfect eyes, which is built into Perfectly Clear Complete, you can remove all sorts of problems with the subject's eyes. So here we go. I like this image. It's very compelling, strong, dark lighting. It looks great. And I don't want to touch anything about the exposure yet. I think the exposure matches what the photographer's looking for. So I'm just going to go to our Perfect Eyes preset. And you'll find different options here. Intelligent Auto, Morning Coffee, Raccoon Eyes for super dark shadows. And let's just split this here and punch in. There we go. Remember, you've also got the navigator, but we can really bring things out here. Look at how that removes the shadows. So we have presets that do nothing to exposure. Remember, if it didn't find the face, you could manually add the face, but so far we're batting 100 here. We found every face automatically. We've got the ability here to do a whole bunch of stuff. So you could turn on auto red eye and remove any red eye if there's red eye in the image. You can do eye enhance, and what eye enhance does is sharpens the eyes and brightens them up a little bit so that they really pop. So you see there that eye enhance just does a series of adjustments, and you can dial that in to the strength that you want. Eye enlarge is going to open up an eye that appears closed. Now, we don't recommend you crank that all the way over to 100. It can get a little unnatural, but you can dial that in where you want. My favorite is the dark circle removal. Dark circles allow you to preserve the skin tone, but just pull those dark circles out. You notice that we had no shift in the exposure. The image is natural looking, but the hard shadows under the eyes and the dark circles are removed. And if you'd like them, we do have catch lights that can be added. So you can use the pop-up here to choose from different types and add that into your scene. So this is really quite powerful, how easy it is to just take some of those things that are unflattering. If we zoom in here to the subject still has the strong lighting. We didn't even touch his skin, but with complete control, we brought a little bit more life to his eyes and removed the unflattering dark circles that hadn't been taken care of with makeup. So I think you'll really like that, the ability to just put this all together. And again, Perfectly Clear is intelligent. It automatically adapts to the different types. So as you change subject or you change age or skin type, it's going to be smart enough and recognize that. So here, if I try the different options there, you see that it intelligently adjusts. So there's eagle eyes, which is a nice sharpening to eyes that is perfect for a lot of men. And you see it just provides a very simple little pop to the eyes. It's a little bit of sharpening, a little bit of brightness, and just gently remove the dark circles. He still has his circles. It's part of his character. But if we take a look at that, it subtly just filled it in and even was able to get right through the eyeglasses here to solve that. So this is really kind of cool how easy and flexible it is. And I like that eye enhance. Let's go with the split screen here and we'll pop in. Remember, another great thing is with face detection, you can also just click on the face and it will instantly zoom into each face in your photo. And there, the dark circles under the eyes have been removed. And it's really just a nice adjustment there. Even through eyeglasses, it dealt with the reflections and pulled that out. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, well, we're about coming to the end of the webinar. I just wanted to remind you of some of the additional ways that you can optimize value here. So I'm going to switch over, and I want to just point out to you that you will have the ability when you log into Impact Radius to get your different banners and presets here. This is where you'll find new artwork for version 3. So if you take a look at any of the ads that say Perfectly Clear V3, these are going to work. And this will take you right to a page where the bundle is being sold. Now, if customers buy before March 29th, they will get the bundle, which includes immediate access to V2, and V3 will ship to them on March 29th. Remember, that bundle, if you are taking advantage of this offer early, will include training and 2 additional preset packs, one for looks, one for images. If you later on want to create your own presets, you can absolutely do that. And what's kind of cool is this. We've added a great new tool called the Apps Manager. So every day when you launch Perfectly Clear, it will dial in to the home office and just check if there's any new software. Now, if you're not online, it's no big deal. It's not going to turn your software off. It doesn't report anything. All it does is check to see if anything new has come out. So when that happens, you'll see that if there's new presets available, they'll appear down here and people can click to buy now. And they can also activate their software here as well as learn about any special offers or training or things that we have. By the way, we do have a great blog post that you're welcome to reuse that talks about 5 of the brand new features coming to Perfectly Clear. And you'll find some other blog posts have been released that will show you some of the different options. For example, things about landscape photography, some things about the auto intelligence with face-aware exposure, things like that. So you're welcome to explore those if those can help you out. And we do have another webinar that goes into more features that you can share with your audience. Beyond that, when you're taking a look at the ads, remember, you can get text links or you can get banner ads. And so you can definitely do that. Just be sure to click the Get Code option and copy to clipboard. You want to avoid manually selecting things so that you don't accidentally cut off your tracking code. But if you do this and paste it in, this will give you a text link in a blog post, or you can use any of the other options to paste banner ads in. Now, once we officially launch V3, we'll be retiring some of our older ads. So make sure that you start to get the newer ads updated with the new branding and look, and the team will be posting more ads as we continue to move closer to launch, as well as with special deals after launch. If you have any challenges accessing or using your Impact Radius account, you can reach out to the office. You can get in contact with Tracy, who's our affiliate manager, and Tracy should be able to help you out. And you might also hear from Ramona on the team from time to time if there's things that you need. Remember, under reports, you can see how you're doing with your sales and actually track any sales that you've made and any clicks that you've made and see the conversions and how you're doing on sales. So make sure you take a look at that from time to time. All right, couple other things just to mention that are new to Lightroom before we wrap for the day. We have a couple of great options in Lightroom I think you're going to really love. Here's one that a lot of folks don't know about, and that is the ability to select an entire photo shoot. Whether it's a portrait shoot or anything else, you can select a range of photos. And now if you go under the File menu and choose Export with Preset, you'll find a bunch of export options pre-set up. We took all of the essential corrections as well as the intelligent auto ones, so you can use these to quickly export. Now, additionally, if you are not used to using any of these or you want to make your own, you can do that. When you choose File Export, this allows you to choose what you use. Just choose Perfectly Clear Complete. Tell it that you want to use one of the built-in presets or one of your own presets. And if you don't want to see the Perfectly Clear window, no problem. You don't have to do that. Or you can uncheck this, and it's really cool. What'll happen now is I'm going to say, you know what, I want to use this intelligent auto skin and eyes. And as it's going, that's great. Export to a specific location. Do put it into this catalog or stack them so you can automatically have them become stacked with the original and choose where they go or what folder they go to. You can rename them, convert the file type, even change the size or add a watermark if you want. So all of this is built into the export module. If you don't have Hide Perfectly Clear checked, then when you click Export, it's going to pre-process those images. I'm just going to overwrite these because I'm setting it to a folder I'd done before. And it will hand those off to the Perfectly Clear window. There we go. And what will happen here is that those will open up into a new window and you'll be able to convert. Now, let me grab some here. Looks like I have a few pictures offline. That's my fault. I'll just grab a couple of random pictures here to do a smaller batch. There we go. And I'll do the same thing. File, Export, choose what I'd like. And I'm just going to do Intelligent Auto here. There we go. And click Export. And that's going to hand them off. Good. And then what will happen is they open up into an image, and you'll be able to make adjustments and then close that and save them back. So pretty straightforward thing. I recommend you take a look at that feature. I think you're going to like it. It's going to make it easy. And if you do have multiple images opened up as you are working, you will have the ability to actually batch save them from that window or synchronize them. So let's just bring in a new folder from a shoot. I'll say import, and I'm going to do this from scratch. Let me navigate here, and we'll do a batch process for automation. I'm going to select all of those and choose import. There they are. And I'm looking at that, and I'm just going to select that entire shoot. There we go. And choose File, Export. Now, earlier, I made a preset for this photo shoot called Tel Aviv Photo Shoot, because that's where I shot this. And it was basically intelligent auto, but I cranked up the shine reduction because we were in a studio that was 120 degrees. So everybody was a bit shiny. And I also increased the blemish removal a little bit because it was hot and sweaty and her skin was getting there. We popped the infrared reduction to tone it down. So now when I click the ability here and I choose to export this, let's just put this here. It's going to hand all of those off to the perfectly clear window. And this is really cool. So it's generating a new image that's ready for export, and perfectly clear is going to get that file. Now what happens is I've got the ability to tweak. So since I chose not to hide that window, what I'm going to be able to do is adjust things. And look, I can click through and go to another image and find one that's sort of representative. As I like that, that's good. Let's do a little more color restore on this. I think I need that. A little more sharpening, that's good. And a little bit of lip sharpening, I forgot to turn that on. Now I can just click Sync Settings, and all of the images will take on that adjustment from this point forward. So this is going to synchronize the settings to every other open image. And when you click Save All, it will start the batch process. There it goes. It's processing the files, and it will hand that off and actually put those into my library, and it will write the files. You'll see there that it processed, and it will drop it in. So that's pretty cool. All right, I hope that gives you some ideas on what's possible here using Perfectly Clear. We're about 5 days away from launch at the time of this webinar, so I've got a couple little things that we're going to be tweaking and finalizing. I'm going to switch back here to the webinar and bring my picture live so you guys can see me, and I'll try to answer any cover. So here we go, and let me just bring my video live here, and we'll scroll through. So let's see here. Couple of questions, and use some specific things there about the banner codes and the widgets. Look like you guys all got those answers. Can we talk about the new noise reduction too? So the noise reduction is not new and Perfectly Clear. We have the same adjustments that we had before. So what we do have additional sharpening adjustments with the lip sharpening, but noise correction are 5 different methods that you can choose from, but those have not changed in version 3. We got very positive feedback on where we were, so we have not tweaked those yet, but that's there. Let's see here. You're ready to know. Pre-launch sale is on now. Yep, that's all good. Custom presets are critical to workflow. So I'm glad you like that. And we got those ready for you guys. So you can easily export your own presets. You can make your own bundles. And remember, working with your affiliate manager, once you create your own presets, besides putting those into the store for sale, if you want to make those something that's officially on the website, you can do that. And people will be able to get a redeem code. So you can give your customers a code to download those for free. Or if you don't want to go through the effort of putting them on our site and store and submitting them for consideration for sale, we're not going to sell all presets. They do need to be vetted and looked at. So there's a little bit of back and forth. I hope you understand. But you are absolutely free to make those preset packs available and just make them a download on your own website. And the user just clicks import presets and they can add them to their collection. So you can feel free to do this however you want very easily. And I hope you guys are going to like that quite a bit. So I hope you guys are excited. And I think this is very solid here. We'll give you what you guys need to succeed. But if there are any other questions, feel free to post them now. Otherwise, this replay will be available so you guys can watch it again later. We do have extra training that'll be launching on our website on March 29th, so you can learn more about this. And of course, we send out newsletters and email blasts and other things to really help you get the most out of this. We're very excited by version 3. We appreciate your patience with us as we got this ready to launch. And a couple of you were asking about additional platforms. We will have some news shortly about other platforms that will work with this. I think you guys will be excited by that news. This means that more people will be able to take advantage of Perfectly Clear Complete. We just have a little bit more testing to do and a couple of I's to dot and T's to cross, and then we'll be able to let you guys know about that functionality. But do work with your affiliate manager, Tracy Cook, or reach out to the office if you've worked with Ramona, and you guys will get the support that you need for a successful launch. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to go ahead and mute my camera and microphone, but we'll leave the webinar open for a little bit. And if you have any additional questions, you can feel free to ask them in the chat pod. For those of you who are watching the replay, thank you so much for tuning in and getting this information. I hope it is helpful to you. My name's Rich Harrington. Thanks a lot for watching.